my horror night.
Welcome to the Last Video Store. I'm your host, Bud Hattenfield. And now that we're in November, it's really sad that October's over and Halloween is gone. But there's a plus. There are many, many, many holiday horror movies out there. And today's episode, we're going to be going over pretty much any horror movie that takes place either during Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's. So if you could tell, there's a lot of stacks. Some's are good, some's are bad, and yes, I'm doing pause on purpose because some are terrible. But there's a lot out there. I'm a sucker for a good bad movie, even bad movies. Some of them can be fun. So we're gonna go over all of them. I'm not gonna be giving thorough reviews on them, but just talking about them and just letting you know that even if you haven't seen or heard this movie before, hey, let me check this out during the holidays. So sit back, put on your yarmulke, light your menorah, plug in your Christmas tree, whatever it is, and let's go over them. So where to start off with, then Thanksgiving. Yes, this is a movie with a puppet killer turkey. This movie is an absolute masterpiece. I love every minute of this movie. I'm trying to see the runtime because it is very long. 66 minutes, but all 66 minutes is amazing. It's fun. Thanksgiving, starring turkey. Gobble gobble, motherfucker. That's just it. And it jumps ahead to Thanksgiving 3. There's no Thanksgiving 2. That is a inside joke within the movie. It comes with a cool little box set if you get them. So the Thanksgiving movies are always a fun time. I usually watch them every November. Move on with a classic from the 80s is Blood Rage. This is a fun little slasher movie from the early to mid 80s. I think 1983. Starts off at a drive-in and it takes place in this motel type setting where there's two twin brothers, one evil, one's kind of normal, but he got fucked up from the evil one because the evil one had committed a murder years ago when they were kids, and he blamed it on the other twin, but the other twin escaped from the mental asylum, or he was released. I'm along the lines of it, but yeah, Blood Rage. This one's always a lot of fun. Check that one out. This one's probably one of the more recent movies on the list. It came out, I think, last year, and it's Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. I really enjoyed this movie. This one was a whole lot of fun. It's a slash movie that takes place on Thanksgiving, and you get, I'm not going to spoil it because it's a new movie if you haven't seen it. And it comes from Eli Roth's little segment he did for, I'm trying to think of the name of the double feature that he did, I think 2007. It had Planet Terror and Death Proof on it. Grindhouse. Eli Roth had did a little short made-up trailer, and then years later, he made an actual full-length feature out of it. This movie's great. It's fun. Check it out. The Last Thanksgiving. This one's pretty good. It's a lower budget one. It's like I said, a lot of these movies, even if you're not a fan of them, I always like watching them. Like this one wasn't bad. It's passable. It's decent. It's not the worst out there. Home Sweet Home with Jake Steinfeld. Body by Jake. Slasher movie where he is a hopped up madman just going around killing people. This one takes place again Thanksgiving, and you have a very young Vanessa Shaw. Now I'm going to stop 1 second. This isn't every holiday movie. There's a lot more probably. I just got tired of looking because I probably have close to 100 laid out. But continuing with a bad one, and it's Amityville Thanksgiving. Check it out. If not, it's not the worst. It's obviously much worse. We get Blood Freak, which is a classic movie, and it's about a dude who makes a turkey monster. The turkey monster goes around killing people. So that's all the ones I laid out for Thanksgiving. So let's start talking about Christmas. I don't feel like going and grab the original Tales from the Crypt anthology from the 70s, but that one had a very great Christmas segment in it. And so did the first season, Tales from the Crypt. I think it was like one of the first few episodes. It was all through the house. with the late Larry Drake as a Santa Claus going around killing people. Check that one out if you haven't heard of it. They're both iconic, so they're around. So kicking things off with the movies, we got The Lodge. This came in a horror pack. I've never seen it, but I know it takes place during Christmas, so I'm going to try to watch this sometime this season. We have Deadly Games, Dial Code, Santa Claus. It also has another French title. If it doesn't say it on, okay, 3615 Code Perry Noel. This is a cool one. This one predates Home Alone, okay, and it's about this little rich fuck right here. And I'm sorry if I'm being offensive. He's this little rich kid. He lives with his grandpa and his mother in this huge mansion, and this crazy guy dresses up as Santa Claus, and he goes to the house and he stabs the grandpa. I think he kills a dog, unfortunately. And this little kid goes sets booby traps all throughout the house. This one came out in the 80s, 1989, and it predates Home Alone. This was a French movie, and for some reason, I think this movie sued Home Alone because the whole thing about this kid being in this huge house setting traps for this bad guy during Christmas time is very similar, but I'm not a judge. So, continuing with the classic Black Christmas, this one's a whole lot of fun. This one is, I like to think, one of the first slasher movies. I know they had Psycho in the 60s and they had Peeping Tom as well. Shalmaka keeps falling off. But Black Christmas is great, and this one definitely inspired Halloween. I know John Carpenter has come out and said that before. Bob Clark had did this, and about 10 years later, he did A Christmas Story. He did Porky's, and he did one of my favorite zombie movies, Children Should Play with Dead Things. He also did Baby Geniuses, but we're not going to hold him against it because he's passed away within the last 20 years. So check out Black Christmas. We're going to talk about the two remakes because they're somewhere in this pile. But the original one is definitely a keeper. So one of the more recent ones, I think this one came out the year before last, and it is Bloody Christmas. Bloody Christmas. This one was fun about a robotic Santa Claus just waking up, causing havoc. It's cool. It was a Shudder original. It was a whole lot of fun. Bloody mess. Not bloody likely, but I like this one a lot. We have Sleigh Bells, which Barry Bostwick played Santa Claus, and it's these three girls that's like all punked out and everything, and they're going around fighting Krampus and whatnot. It's fun. The chick with the red hair got some big boobies, and yeah. Yeah. Sleigh Bells. This one's cool, so check that one out. Like I said, I got a lot of Krampus movies in here. Some are good, some are bad. We got Mother Krampus. Yeah. We got Death December, which is a cool little anthology horror movie. I didn't mind this one. This one was all right. We have Secret Santa, which is done by my friend Adam Marcus, who did Jason Goes to Hell, and that movie was a fucking masterpiece. So, yeah. Secret Santa, that one's a good one. We have the actual Krampus movie done by Michael Dougherty that came out roughly, I'd say about 10 years ago. Time passes by very quickly, so I'm like, fuck, that was 10 years ago? But yeah, this one was cool. It wasn't bad. I got the uncut, the naughty edition, which has like a couple more minutes of segments. Now this one, all through the house, is about this dude dressed up as Santa Claus going around cutting people's sticks off. So this one's actually pretty scary in its own right. Let's see. We have the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, which it's not a bad movie. It's a fun movie. I did this one. It was probably one of our first Christmases with the last video store. It's definitely a classic. I don't like all the rapiness in it because rape shouldn't be in movies and whatnot because it's a horrible, unforgivable act. But we get Linnea Quigley in there, and she's awesome. But yeah, the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, it's fun. It's worth a watch. Love it. And it's all right. We have the sequel, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, which should be Silent Night, Deadly Night 1.5, because the majority of the movies, the first movie, recycled. And we get this whole segment with Eric Friedman, I think his name is. He got them eyebrows. Garbage Day. But yeah, this was a cool one. And this past, well, I say that probably last year or year before last, Vestron Video released the three sequels that came out of it. We get Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, Better Watch Out, where Bill Moseley takes over from Edward Freeman's character. The first brother was Billy. I think it was Billy. And the second one was Ricky. Ricky Caldwell, I think his name was. But Bill Moseley takes over, and it's not that bad. We get the brother from Twin Peaks. He's in there. He's the one with the ponytail. I'm fucking rambling. But we got Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, The Initiation. That was done by Brian Usda. I didn't really care for that one because it was just a weird little movie with like witches and shit. And then we get part 5 with Mickey Rooney in Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker. That one was all right. That one wasn't bad. Yeah, so cool little Blu-ray collection. Now, we did get the remake that was just called Silent Night, and that was fun. It has a different take, but it has some nods to the original movie. So, we have The Children, which is about killer children. So there's The Mean One. We get the guy who plays Art the Clown as the Grinch going around killing people and whatnot. My kids like this. They were bad. We have Blood Beat, which is a weird samurai ghost story, but it takes place on Christmas. We get Santa Claus, which is not a bad movie. John Russo made this movie from the mid 90s, and yeah, Santa Claus. So check this one out. So like I said, Krampus, the Naughty Cut, that's that version. So move on. We have Christmas Evil, which everybody talks about like they love this movie. I didn't care for this one too much. It wasn't a bad movie. It just had other movies that was better in my opinion. Silent Night, Deadly Night came out in '84, and like I said, I was a fan of it. There was a few things I didn't like, but it was protests because Santa Claus should never be killers or whatnot. But we had a killer Santa Claus, or a guy dressed up as a killer Santa Claus, and like I said, Tales from the Crypt, the first anthology movie from I think Amicus is the studio who did that one. I could be wrong about that. But that was from the early 70s. Christmas Evil came out in 1980. And again, it had some dude dressed up as Santa Claus going around killing some people. But for some reason, they had a huge boner to pick with Silent Night, Deadly Night, but it ended up helping the movie out. And that's why it's a big deal today. The next one is one I love from the 90s. It is Jack Frost, the mutant Attack of the Mutant Killer Snowman. Ho, ho, ho. I love this movie. I reviewed this one a couple years ago as well. One that not a lot of people talk about or know of, it is A Cadaver Christmas. This one's a whole lot of fun. This one's a Norwegian one, I believe, and it's called Saint, or the original version's called Sent. And it's about Saint Nicholas. But yeah, this one's actually really good. I really like this one. Another foreign one that I really dug is Rare Export: A Christmas Tale. So check this one out as well. This one's a whole lot of fun. Classic 80s slasher directed by David Hess. He was Krug from the original Hills Have Eyes. He was the last house on Dead. Anyway, he did To All a Good Night, which is another killer Santa Claus movie with the very beautiful Jennifer Runyon. This one's from 1980 as well. Don't Open Till Christmas. This one's a whole lot of fun. Joe Bob had showed this one, I believe it was last year, on the last drive-in. This one came from 1984, so the same year as Silent Night, Deadly Night. And this one's about a guy going around killing people dressed up as Santa Claus, and he cuts a wiener off in this one too. That's fucking scary. So I just got the stack in front of me, so I'm just grabbing. But we have another copy, Jack Frost, because I fucking love this movie. And sadly, we have Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman, but I dig this one as well. It's always a good time. A little fun made-for-TV movie from the Sci-Fi Channel in 2004, I believe. Came out Christmas time, and it is Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. We need this on Blu-ray, so whoever's into that will get this one. We have Pagan Warrior. That's a weird little Viking Krampus movie. Moving on. We have Toys of Terror. Sorry about the glare. Toys of Terror. It is exactly what it sounds. Better Watch Out, which this one wasn't bad. It's just kind of got bad booms, and I thought we were going to get more out of that one. We have Hell on the Shelf, which again is exactly what it sounds. We have Joe R. Lansdale's Christmas with the Dead, which is a fun little rare one. So if you like rare, obscure horror movies, check this one out. This one came from, I believe, 2012-ish. And it's a Christmas zombie movie. So, yeah. All right. So, Black Xmas. I did not like this movie when it came out because I was a huge fan of the original Black Christmas. And I was like, what the fuck is this? When I want to curse things out, I do it in a Scottish accent. I don't know why, but yeah. So I thought this one was a huge bag of turds until this one came out, and this is a huge fucking bag of turds, and it made me like this one. So moving on. We have P2, A New Level of Terror. It's like a parking garage movie with a psychotic security guard going around stalking this woman, killing people who's wronged her because he's in love. This one takes place on Christmas. It went bad. Dismembering Christmas, which was a newer one. It's not a bad movie. Dismembering Christmas. One Hell of a Christmas, which is a cool little one that I found in the Blockbuster many years ago. This one came out in 2002, and it was, I think, a Fangoria film. One Hell of a Christmas. We have Mother Krampus 2, Sleigh Ride, and my buddy Eddie Lingell directed this movie. He's done other movies such as Hell Week, Scored, and he has some other movies coming out, but this one was pretty good. We have the original from the 70s, I believe, and it's just Silent Night, Bloody Night. Not bloody likely. I watch a lot of Seinfeld lately. We have the musical, Anna and the Apocalypse, which this was actually pretty fun. It was a cool little zombie movie. It was like if Disney did a horror movie during Christmas time with zombies. And yeah. Windshield, which I didn't care for this one too much. It was a weird little snowy supernatural movie. Now we have the classic Gremlins. Gotta have Gremlins on Christmas time. We have All the Creatures Were Stirring, which is a fun little movie. A Christmas Nightmare, which is, it's not the worst movie out there. Let's look at these stacks of Krampus movies because there are a lot of these for some goddamn reason. We got Krampus Origins. We have Krampus the Christmas Devil. We have Krampus the Devil 2. Krampus 2, The Devil Returns. We have another Jack Frost, but not that Jack Frost, a different Jack Frost. We have Satan Claus. Red Christmas, which is about a dude going around killing people. And all right, spoiler alert, just because this was a weird fucking movie and had a weird turn. So Dee Wallace, used to be known as Dee Wallace Stone, she had an abortion years ago, and the baby didn't die. So it had like Down syndrome somewhere. Anyway, years later, it comes and is cloaked, and now Dee Wallace has a family of her own with children and her brother, and the baby she aborted comes back angry, and he starts killing off all of her family. So, Red Christmas. We have the anthology, A Christmas Horror Story, which this one was pretty cool. I like this one. We have William Shatner. Shatner's always a good time. We have Christmas Blood. Chris Massacre. Chris Massacre. That's a movie, right? All right, we have Stalled, which is a fun little British movie, similar to Shaun of the Dead. And it takes place during Christmas time, and we get this little janitor or handyman for this company. And for some reason, he's hiding out in the women's bathroom during this Christmas party, and it's a zombie apocalypse. Now, the next one's probably one of my favorite Christmas movies, and the Blu-ray of this, and it is Bill motherfucking Goldberg's Santa Sleigh. We get fucking James Caan, we get the nanny, Chris Kattan. This is a fun movie, bro. Sister Krampus, Dead End, which is a cool little supernatural horror movie that takes place on Christmas. This one was pretty cool. Ray Wise and Lynn Shay was in this one. We have Two Front Teeth. Yes, I said that correctly. It was like a vampire elf. So this was cool. It was a low budget, but it was fun. This one's very obscure, but enjoyable. We have Secret Santa, which was actually a pretty fun one. Once Upon a Time at Christmas. I should start working on my British accent. We got Psycho Santa, Mrs. Claus. She has to get on the action. We have a 2-pack that has Granny Krampus and Krampus the Return. Krampus Unleashed. Fucking shit. Krampus the Reckoning. It's a Wonderful Knife. I believe this one came out last year. I did not care for this one. Another kind of bag of turds is Christmas presents. We have Elves, which is not the one from the 80s. I don't know what the hell happened there. Not the one from the 80s. I wish we would get that one on Blu-ray or at least DVD, because that was a fun, shitty time with Grizzly Adams. So we have this one, and we have the sequel, which I have coming in from England, because for some reason I cannot find a copy of Save My Life in America. But The Elf is that one. So Elves. We have Christmas Craft Fair Massacre. This was actually pretty good. We have Christmas Cruelty, which I didn't care for this one too much. A Creature We're Stirring, which I've seen worse. Then we have Silent Night, Zombie Night. I don't think I have to go through this one and explain it, because it's kind of self-explanatory. So we're almost done. Only a few movies left, and one of these happens to be Hanukkah. With Sid Haig, Caroline Williams, P.J. Souls, Dick Miller, and Charles Fleischer. That was kind of offensive, but that was the dude who played Roger Rabbit. He was Wally in Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. From Dreidel to the Grave. Hanukkah. So, last couple of movies we're going to talk about is movies that takes place during New Year's, because yes, that is a thing. We have Day of the Beast, which is a pretty cool little, I think it was a little Italian movie, if I'm not mistaken. And it has something to do with like the devil coming to Earth, is getting reborn. And this Catholic priest got to go around just sinning and everything. It's kind of fun. Speaking of the devil coming back, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger's End of Days. I didn't talk about this one, but 13 Slays Till Xmas. The thought kind of fucked me up on the reading part, but this was another little anthology horror movie. I've seen worse. We have New Year's Evil. That's all I'm going to say about that one. And to finish off this list, we have Terror Train. This was a cool little early 80s slasher movie with Jamie Lee Curtis. And what was that little fucking dude's name? I know I'm cursing a lot in this episode, so I apologize for this. David Copperfield, he was in this movie. So, yes, you can't say you don't have enough to do this this holiday season, because you literally have about almost 100 holiday movies to watch. So start now. But don't waste time on this. This is Bud Haddonfield, host of The Last Video Store. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Have a good couple of days till my next episode. So, see you later.
not the media and he's lying. Chucky and the zombies now Olympus cemetery. So bring me back those. I wanna come back to those times when all movies were so scary. I